Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Anthony Joshua, big Femi, right? Look, Anthony Joshua, when it comes to his opponent selection for his next fight, it just shows how far that he's fallen when it comes to boxing. And it shows you the extreme that Eddie Hearn is willing to go to, which is a good thing, but I don't know how good it is. But it shows you the extreme Eddie Hearn is willing to go to make sure Joshua gets a guaranteed win. In addition to that, it's not going to stop there, right? Eddie Hearn can say, we all know Eddie Hearn, Fast Eddie. He talks too much. Good promoter. If you were just a little bit slow, Eddie Hearn will talk circles around you and have you agreeing to all kind of stuff, right? Which is good if you're on his team. But it can also be bad if you're on his team because we know Eddie Hearn is a knee-jerk type person with his mouth. Good example, if you think, oh man, Hood, you're wrong. You are speaking with emotion like Eddie Hearn. Okay, good example is the crap that happened out there with Eubank Jr. and Conor Benn. Knee-jerk. Gets a little pressure. Hey man, look, they outed us. They're onto us. They know we're up to some shady business. We're trying to get Eubank Jr. in a fight with Conor Benn. Basically, unfair advantage. You're trying to kill Jr. What does Eddie Hearn do? They got an open workout. He's on the ride there. As soon as he gets out there, he just starts talking. Instead of just shutting up, being cool, and letting things kind of play out. But he immediately want to come out, get on the defensive, and talk. Knee-jerk reaction, and he regrets it to this day. And I think he's had a knee-jerk reaction with Anthony Joshua with the things he said as well. And I'm sure he regrets that. But I think Eddie Hearn is toxic. And I think he's the worst person for Anthony Joshua to have in his corner right now. So we're going to talk about these opponents. But if you're already a person, I'll tell you what, let's say you're a person, right, who wants to lose 30 pounds. You know, every day you wake up, you know, man or woman, you're standing in that mirror, butt naked. And you're looking at yourself and you're feeling that kind of way. But then you put on your little clothes and stuff, man. And then you come out into the world and you're like, all right, I'm going to get myself on track. I'm going to stop being a burger bandit. Going to become all about my probiotics. Low carbs, high protein intake. Try to get the fat content around 20 grams of fat a day. And try to see if I can streamline this physique. And then you got this miserable ass husband or wife who comes over there. Oh yeah, because you got a cheat day now. Oh yeah, you better not eat that burger. It's going to all come to an end. All that workout you've done, it's over for you. You'll never reach your goals. And you're like, WTF, negative ass. Get out of here. And that's Eddie Hearn. Super negative. Oh, AJ can't afford to lose. His career is over. He might as well retire. His career is not damn over unless he loses to one of these two opponents. Now, it was supposed to be an Australian fighter. Now the talk is about him coming in here and fighting. The Australian fighter name is Dimsy McKean. Now it could be Jermaine Franklin. The guy who just fought Dillian White. I may be getting his name wrong, right? And I'm like, listen. Anthony Joshua is still a monster in the heavyweight division. What are we trying to do here? You put him in here with Jermaine Franklin, don't get me wrong. He's a nice person. I think Franklin deserves the opportunity. Doesn't stand a chance against AJ. Let's not take it to the stupid. Hold your horses. And then this Australian guy, no one knows of him. What are you trying to do? I just think that's an absolute foul. You're putting him in here making it super easy for him. No, he doesn't need that to get his confidence back. To me, that hurts him more than it helps him. Anthony Joshua's not stupid. He knows he's going to go in there and blow these guys out of there. You think after that victory, When Eddie Hearn starts trumpeting how AJ is back, you saw the power. You saw the intelligence. You saw the ring generalship. You saw a man who blah, 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 blah. Nobody's going to want to hear that shit. What we saw is a guy who got in there and did what he was supposed to do. If anything, he's going to be ridiculed if that fight goes past one round. So that doesn't help AJ. And that's annoying as hell to me. So that's why I said, shit, if you're going to do that, throw him in there with a transgender. A female who identifies as a male and wants to box. She taking all that testosterone, right? Throw her ass in there. And let AJ break her damn neck. I mean, stop with the bullshit. Now, as far as some opponents he could have faced. Because let's just be real. I get it. Well, before I say this, AJ can beat anybody in the heavyweight division. Anybody. Even Deontay Wilder. Even Tyson Fury. This is boxing, man. Okay? It only takes one punch. We know that. Okay? So let's not act like AJ at any point can't beat anybody. Easy. But what happened to Luis Ortiz? You're telling me the old Cuban Cadillac wouldn't have been a good choice? Like, that's a good measuring stick. Because the old Cuban Cadillac, the man have about 300,000 miles on that engine, don't he? The Cuban Cadillac, I'm going to have about 500,000 miles on him, don't he? That's all I'm saying. But at the end of the day, the old Cuban Cadillac didn't really look that good in there against the King, Charles Martin. He got him out of there, but hey, the old Cuban Cadillac was breaking down every couple of rounds, wasn't he? I got about a million miles. Got in there with Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz put some heat on him. But the Cuban Cadillac looked pretty good in that one, but it showed that his punch resistance isn't there. Now, if Prince Charles Martin, who got paid like $8 or $9 million when he fought AJ, right? So he set the rest of his life for that one fight. But if the Prince Charles Martin can put Luis Ortiz down, if Andy Ruiz, Winnie the Pooh, right? If he can put Luis Ortiz down, you're telling me AJ can't put Luis Ortiz down and get him out in that first round? This Luis Ortiz, the 1.5 million mile old Cuban Cadillac. So that's the fight I think I would have put him in. Now, if he gets in there and just totally deads him in one round, well, then Eddie Hearn can come out there and he's back and you saw the this and you saw the that, spectacular, blah, blah, blah. Then you can get us to listen. But don't come out here trumpeting how AJ is. He's back and he's this and that because he comes and he beats Jermaine Franklin or he beats this Aussie fighter, Dempsey McKean. So let's just stop. But I really feel Luis Ortiz would have been a good fight. Now, if he didn't want to just throw him in there real quick, you know what? Throw him in there with Dillian White. But again, you understand what's going on here, right? Eddie Hearn is using this opportunity to fool us that he's rebuilding Anthony Joshua, someone who doesn't need to be rebuilt. Yeah, he a little bit of confidence issues, but he got banged up pretty bad by Andy Ruiz in that first fight. He realized, shit, I'm human. He's always been chinny. You hear the sparring horror stories. He just got exposed in front of the world. That shit's happened in sparring. You think AJ hasn't known for years that he can be a bit chinny as someone who got a little power in their hand, and they're all heavyweights, so they can hit hard. If they touch him, he'll go down. Y'all forgetting Vladimir, or however the hell you pronounce his name, Klitschko? He had AJ. AJ shouldn't have won that fight. Klitschko just, I don't know what the hell his brother Vitaly told him, just be smart, don't rush it. He should have got his ass out of there when he had AJ hurt. But his fault. And then AJ got lucky. Stars lined up, and then he came and banged him out of there. But Klitschko lost his right to complain in that fight because AJ was out. He was gassed. Klitschko fooled around. AJ got a second win. Bing, bing, bing. Over. But now going forward now, for AJ, look, I get it. Trying to rebuild him. But this is what Eddie Hearn's trying to do. He's using this opportunity to put AJ, who's a cash cow. He's going to draw huge numbers, right? I would think anywhere he goes. Put him in there with lesser opponent. Make a whole lot of money for AJ. Opponent gets the highest payday of his career. Eddie Hearn and his label make good money, and they can start trying to repay some of that debt that they got to the zone. Because Eddie Hearn contributed to a lot of that over $6 million in debt that the zone has. They've lost a lot of money. Eddie Hearn, he handsomely contributed to that debt. So that's why Eddie Hearn's going to use this opportunity to throw AJ out there. Easy fight with the Aussie or Jermaine Franklin. Easy fight with Dillian White or some other name that we don't know. Then maybe another easy fight against someone else. He's not throwing him in there with no damn Deontay Wilder. Now, I will say this. If Derek James can help connect the dots for Anthony Joshua and put him in there with some hard sparring, because I think you get better sparring here stateside, right? Some hard sparring. And we see Anthony Joshua kind of showing what we're accustomed to seeing in a Jermell Charlo, in an Earl Spence. And the new guy on the scene, Franklin, right? If the big man, Big Femi, can show that kind of commitment, that kind of focus, and lock into a boxing match the way those three are, who are down there with Derek James, well, then Big Femi may be ready for Deontay Wilder. Because Malik Scott isn't going to make Deontay Wilder any better. And I like Deontay Wilder. He's all about the kids. So that touches me, right? But Malik Scott trying to have Deontay Wilder turn the line into a pussycat with this jab to the body. And, 1, 2, half a step back, roll out. 3, 15-second drill. Go, Deontay. Deontay, that's just not it for Deontay Wilder. All right, you need to sit there, catch and shoot, slip, throw the left hook, roll out of it. No, Deontay Wilder, jab, right hand. Jab, right hand. Simple. 2, triple up the jab. Step back. Feint. Boom. Get him out of position. Let your hand go. That's all Deontay Wilder has to do. But I tell you what, Anthony Joshua, if he's looking good with Derek James, him and Deontay Wilder into this year could be a good match. Because I'll be honest, if they throw AJ in there with these little tomato cans, shit, he can fight 4 or 5 times before the end of the year and he fights Wilder. If that's the case, keep the man busy. He said he wants to fight 4, 5, 6 times this year. So do it. But I wouldn't throw him in there 4, 5, 6 times against guys like Luis Ortiz, against Otto Wallen. Yeah, Dillian White, he doesn't count. Throw him in there with about 6 Dillian Whites. But you just can't. His 6 opponents, let's say the first one is Dempsey McKean, and the second one is Dillian White. After that, you can't go Luis Ortiz. You can't go Flip Hergovic. You can't go Jaleel Zhang. You can't go Joe Joyce. You can't go Daniel Dubois. And then you can't get to Wilder. That's suicide. That's like walking through a minefield, man. One of the things you're going to step on. Blow his ass up. So when it comes to AJ, I kind of feel sorry for him. I'm going to be looking to see. Forget the first fight. We already know that's going to be a joke, right? Like I said, throw him in there with a transgender if that's what we're doing. But the second, third, fourth fights, that's what I want to see. I just don't think throwing him in there with Deontay Wilder anytime soon is the answer. But we know Anthony Joshua can do it. Anthony Joshua is elite. Okay, he had some setbacks because he tried to box. This is the problem. What we saw happen with Anthony Joshua in those Usyk fights, right? Even in Andrew Ruiz, because the second fight he boxed, fought Pulev, he boxed. Then he did what we know for him to do, let the power shots go. But they turned a lion into a pussycat. Anthony Joshua, we get it. The big man can box. He's not Muhammad Ali. But you're turning these lions into pussycats, and that's what happens. He tried to box, where he should be in there doing what he does great, cutting that ring off and letting those big shots go. Use his advantages, the length, the jab, close the distance, come in behind big hard shots. Hit that man anywhere. He didn't do that. And that's what could happen to Deontay Wilder. You're turning a lion into a pussycat trying to make them box. It's not going to work out. So with Derek James, I already said Freddie Roach, Derrick James are back with McCracken. But Derrick James and Freddie Roach, they're not going to have him trying to box. They're not going to have him out there like what Tyson Fury was before Tyson Fury hooked up with Kinahan and started taking out them pads and then legally loading his gloves. Y'all can say what the hell you want. You know, Tyson Fury used to float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. Then all of a sudden, you start getting, I don't know, things start happening for Tyson Fury, right? So what we're seeing could be AJ going from being what we've known him to be, the knockout puncher, what Tyson Fury has become since his second go at his career, and what they're trying to make Anthony Joshua go to, being a boxer, what Tyson Fury was before he hooked up with Kinahan, right? So that being said, good move for Anthony Joshua to be with Derrick James. Bad move having Eddie Hearn still in this corner. Sky's not falling. His career's not over. And they need to put him in there with real competition because they're just putting him in there. It's like any sport you play, man. If you're trying to improve, yeah, man, iron sharpens iron, right? We've heard that saying before. Doesn't mean you go in there with I got a damn Deontay Wilder right now, but get yourself in there with some guys who out of let's say we're scaling them on 1 through 10. Don't go in there with the 10, but get in there with some 7 and 8s. Because you know you can get rid of them because you're a 10. And then ease yourself up to that 10. But right now, going there with a -5, horrible. But anyway, that being said, shout out to the veterans. Shout out to everyone. I like AJ. I think Eddie Hearn is bad for the business. But Eddie Hearn sees this as an opportunity to make as much money as possible off of AJ and this reconstitution process. In addition to that, I really hope that they learn from their mistakes. And even Anthony Joshua, when he's working with James, he says, look, I need to get back to being that killer. I don't want to be out here floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee, because it didn't work for him. Come back to being that boxer, the big, strong man who proves that these guys don't deserve to be in the ring with him, and bang them out of there, okay? Anthony Joshua shouldn't be taking steps back. Usyk was pushing him back. That's madness. But Usyk is special, I get it, but still, it's madness. That being said, y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans, everyone in the UK. I'm in the breeze.